The spring market is starting to heat up here in Reno-Sparks in Northern Nevada. Let's take a look and see what happened for the month of March of 2023. Let's take a look. Well, would you look at that? We started out the spring with an increase in median home price from basically $510,000 to $528,000. Take a look at where we were last year, $575,000. We're still a bit down, but we are starting potentially to do our spring market run where we normally do go up in price. Will this continue for the next couple of months? We'll find out. I wanted to look back over the last 10 years and take a look when I was previewing these numbers, and look at that. I just noticed, and I drew a line in there for you. Look at that. It's almost just a straight line with a little incline there of more of a healthy incline of home prices, right? And then 2020 hit, COVID hit, low interest rates, and we had a mass a bunch of buyers hit the market. And that's where we kind of got out of that groove and prices kind of got out of hand, right? So you can kind of see we've started to adjust to that. So are we gonna get back on that train of just that steady incline? We're gonna continue to watch, but right now it looks like that could be the case. Now, how fast are these homes selling? Whoa, I had to do a double take when I saw these numbers. 18 days to contract. Go back 2 months and it was 57 days to get an offer accepted on your home on average. That's crazy, a big improvement. Good news for those sellers out there. For those buyers, it's getting a little bit more competitive. We're gonna get to our inventory issue that we're having, but yeah, there's just not enough homes out there, so any home that hits the market is selling quick. Looking at the price points of what you may be shopping for in your home, or maybe you're a homeowner and curious how quickly your home may sell, take a look at these. The red bars there are going to be what we did for March, but I left the gray bars in this time as well, which will be the previous month of February, because I was like, I bet they improved a bunch. And sure enough, look at those. 300 to 400,000, 11 days versus 45 days just 1 month prior. Big improvement. And then, I mean, all the way up. The only one that actually had a negative was the 1 million to 1.5 million, which it was 41 days. The contract went up to 59. But still, every other price range had a decline in how quickly or the length it would take to sell. Let's take a look and see how many, with all the sales we've had, the new listings and inventory, what we're looking at. And I kind of hinted earlier, we were having an inventory issue, and sure enough, the gray bar of inventory has been declining the last few months. And yeah, I even checked this morning. Today is the 6th of April. I looked back this morning and I actually saw that that 543 that we ended March is now 533. So it dropped another 10 homes. So until these sellers decide to put their home on the market, we're gonna probably be having these inventory issues. I think part of it may be seasonality with just all the snow that we've had. It feels like this winter has never wanted to end. And so it seems like the spring market or spring weather may be here, fingers crossed. We may start to see an increase in homes hit the market. So if you are a seller, maybe advantageous to get your home on the market sooner rather than later before the rush of everyone, right? So good time to get your home unlisted on the market. And those buyers, there's hope coming your way, I think. Now, I always like to take a look at, are we in a buyer's market, seller's market? And one of the gauges for that is month supply of inventory. And this looks at buyer demand versus inventory and everything in between. So looking at that, we have 1.4 month supply of inventory. And what that means is, on average, it's gonna take 1.4 months to sell all of our existing inventory today if we had no more homes hit the market. So that is below 5 months, which means that it is still considered a seller's market. We've been in a seller's market for a long time now, for quite a few years. And because of that, I've told you before, there's still buyer opportunities out there that can work in your advantage for a buyer's market. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, let me know. And while I have your attention, I just wanted to remind you, if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It really helps the algorithm, and even the like button for this video helps me even more. Thank you. Now continuing onward, I wanted to split that up by price range like we've been. I wanted to start adding a little bit more comparing the previous month as these trends have been changing so rapidly lately, it feels like. So look at that. Anything under $500,000, the $500,000 all the way down to $300,000 is about a month's supply of inventory, or half a month's supply of inventory. Wow, 0.6 months. Wow, there is not a lot of inventory. It is selling very fast there, and there's just not enough homes in that price point. So, and that 200 to 300,000, there's nothing. So pretty crazy, but you look all the way, and I noticed this though, even the 1 to 1.5 million price range actually decreased by like more than half. So even though it was taking longer to sell their homes, good news is the month supply of inventory has dropped down back into a seller's market. So good news if you are a home seller in that price point. I always like to look at leading indicators of where a market's going. This is pending sales, because this is homes that got accepted offer in the month of March, which means they're going to be closing in April and May. And so with that, we're expecting, or we got 405 homes under contract in the month of March. Now, 405 homes, look at what we did March of last year, 505 homes. So literally 100 homes less under contract. And I think a big portion of that is because there's just not enough homes on the market. I've got many home buyers right now that are just waiting for that right home to hit the market, and they'll be ready to go. But it's not there yet. So if you're a seller that's hesitant, maybe you saw that home prices had dropped a little bit and you're like, I don't know. Let's connect and see if now may be the right opportunity, because there are some buyers out there looking, especially in some of those really aggressive price points. You may be very excited to even potentially get multiple offer situation. I actually just wrote up an offer for a client a couple weeks ago on an $875,000 home, and we were up against three offers. So it went into multiple offers. So even some of those price points that you may think may be a little bit higher, it's still aggressive out there. So don't let that deter you. I wanted just to show you real quick with the pending sales over the last 10 years. You can see, even though the last couple of months we've been seeing pendings go upward, that's good news. We're still so much lower than where we should be in terms of pending homes. So there are still less buyers on the market than there were, 2021. But there are still a lot of buyers out there, and I think we're going to see more and more hit the market, especially as inventory starts to come up. Let's take a look at the different hyperlocal markets, starting with Reno. Reno jumped up almost 6% median home price to $552,500. We saw that the inventory did drop, no surprise there. And look at the days to contract dropped down to 15 days, almost 2 weeks to get your home sold on average in Reno. Heading over to Sparks, you can see $502,500, almost the same of where we were last month. Inventory took a big drop down to 160 homes in all of Sparks. And days to contract, 23 days, so a little over a week longer than Reno. Heading out to Fernley, almost $200,000 less than Reno at $355,000. Actually jumped up a little bit, 1.5%. And you can see that the median days to contract, 35 days, over a month actually. That surprised me. And inventory did drop 20% down to 73 homes. Heading to our capital of Carson City, $450,000. That was a drop of almost 9%. Wow. And that puts it more than $100,000 less than Reno. Do you remember just a couple of months ago, we were talking about how it was more expensive for median home price in Carson City than Reno. So Carson City apparently isn't as bougie anymore. Then it maybe got a little overzealous. I'm not sure. Even that days to contract 40 days to contract versus the 15 in Reno. So quite the contrast there. And inventory of 65 homes, it did drop there. Heading farther south to Gardnerville and Minden, dropped a bunch there as well, over 12%. So it's under $500,000 now, which again, this was another one that was notoriously higher than Reno. Normally we have, bigger, lot sizes, kind of more bigger homes out there, ranch style homes and more grandeur homes sometimes. And so I was surprised that we saw quite a drop out there. And we did see inventory drop as well. And of course, median days to contract did drop 24. So it's a bit faster than Carson City. But I find it fascinating that some of these outlying of the Reno-Sparks markets are taking longer to sell. And those ones we're seeing price drops on a lot of them. So really interesting stuff. We're gonna have to keep watching that and see if there's a pattern or if this was just a fluke. I always like to finish up with home prices for condos and townhomes in the Reno-Sparks area. $312,500. It was almost 7% jump. And yeah, that's for condo. I mean, if you're looking at that price point, let's talk and see. And once you add that HOA in there, it might make more sense to even buy a single family home. So if you're considering different price points, let me know and we can take a look at that. Median days of contract actually jumped to 34 days, over a month there. And inventory, we did see that drop 30%. So just over 100 homes there. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Stay tuned. I'm going to be starting a new mortgage video every month as well. I'm going to be doing on this channel. So again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and watch my other videos over here. And if you haven't liked the video, please do that as well. I'll see you next time.